Everyone knows the Grand Canyon, but Arizona has another famous geological feature known simply as the Mogollon Rim. It's a 200-mile escarpment stretching from the New Mexico border into central Arizona, a dramatic geological boundary that separates the desert lowlands from the higher elevations of the Colorado Plateau. Unlike the saguaro forests that dominate the lowlands, up here the forests are comprised of pines. And if you're after those elusive campsites sitting right on the edge of a cliff, the Rim has hundreds of them. Come along with Overland trail guides and our friends as we explore the Mogollon Rim and the rocky trail networks beyond its western edge. Today's route is powered by Overland Trail Guides. For more information on the Mogollon Rim Discovery Trail, check out our website at overlandtrailguides.com. The website features over 100 overland route guides across North America, and each comes with a detailed GPX file. Why don't we get back to our adventure now? Well, we're all packed up and ready to go, so we're going to meet the group and then hit the trail. Let's get into it. Scott and I hit the dirt and headed back to the pavement to meet the rest of the group at the meetup location. We'd be spending the next 8 days exploring central Arizona, with the first portion spent along the Mogollon Rim before jumping over to Sedona. Day one on the Mogollon Trail. And so we're gonna hit a couple of lookouts for the day. We're going to I think it's the Travis Walton UFO abduction site from the movie Fire in the Sky. We do have another lookout point that we're going to do when we actually get to the more impressive part of the rim. We're at the far east side. There's not much of a rim on this side, but once we make our way west, we'll be getting to the more trafficked, the more visited portions of the Mogollon Rim. But let's get into it. Well, we are at Sheep Creek Viewpoint. Definitely turns into a pretty rocky Jeep track. Nothing too technical, but slow going for sure. I put it in 4 low just because I was getting bounced around everywhere just to regulate the speed. But I think we got the viewpoint right up here. So me and Shasta are the first ones here. We're gonna walk over to the rim and check it out. Sheep Creek is just a preview. While the eastern rim is rugged, it lacks the sheer drama found further west. Soon, these slope forests will give way to jagged vertical rock faces that make the western edge iconic. Alright guys, we're continuing along Rim Road here. As you probably noticed, a lot of people came out here and we're just throttling it through the mud. You could tell there were some spots where the tread was like 4 inches deep and the rest of the trail was perfect. Don't be that person that does that. I mean, if you hit a mud patch, that's fine, but clearly people have been coming out here and just cranking their throttle and going for miles at a time and just digging up tread marks and just ripping up the trail. Just not cool stuff. But we're going to continue on our way here to the first discovery point, which is one of the lookouts. I believe it is Deer Springs Lookout. So let's get into it. Built in 1923, the Deer Springs Fire Lookout is the oldest lookout within the Apache-Sitgreaves National Forest. This tower is part of a larger network of lookouts that form a strategic chain along the Mogollon Rim. While the views from the ground are unimpressive, the top of this 60-foot lookout offers a dizzying, panoramic view over the pines and the rugged canyons of the lowlands to the south. We continued west through the pine forest, and if you're wondering about the Travis Walton abduction site, we did make a quick stop at the location, but it's just a spot in the woods. While the movie Fire in the Sky made this spot legendary, the reality is far less cinematic. If you research this story yourself, keep a skeptical eye. Walton's account is widely contested for its numerous factual inaccuracies. We'd make our way to another staple of local lore, but while Travis Walton's story leans on the extraterrestrial, this next chapter is grounded in cold, hard facts.
So we're making our way down to the Scott, Stott, and Wilson gravesite. Alleged horse thieves. So we're on the right path here. It's like an old Jeep trail. Should be there in a couple minutes.
Accused of theft and denied a trial, these three men fell victim to the brutal law of the rope during the bloody range wars of 1884. Their graves serve as a stark, verifiable reminder of a time when frontier justice was swifter than any judge's gavel. Through the summer months, while Phoenix is baking in triple-digit heat, locals head to the high elevation of the Mogollon Rim to seek respite. The rim is teeming with activity as campers jockey for those amazing campsites right at the rim's edge. We recommend visiting during the week if you're intent on grabbing one of those prime campsites. And as luck would have it, an amazing campsite sitting right at the rim's edge would lure us in. While the drive along Rim Road can be described as tame, the views from the rim's edge are anything but.
Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. This view behind us, something else, I'll tell you that. Stick around with him. No, I'm eating. So we're on a freshly piece of worked road on Rim Road up here. It's really nice. I could probably go 50 if I wanted. I'm not obviously gonna do that. But way nicer than yesterday, but I'm a little bit worried that once we get beyond the work here that it's going to revert to that really rough road, but so far so good, so we'll see.
Our plan for the day would take us to the more rugged western end of the rim. We'd make some quick stops at lookouts, viewpoints, and an old CC cabin, but the rim would be the undisputed star of the show. At nearly 8,000 feet, Horseshoe Vista is one of the first locations to showcase the more rugged side of the Mogollon Rim.
What's up, guys? We're up at Horseshoe Vista. As you can tell, it's a little bit breezy right now. Wind just picked up. It looks like we might get a couple of showers. We got some dark clouds behind us, but like everything else up here, views for miles and miles, just absolutely exquisite. So we're gonna get on our way. I'll show you some more views in a second.
At this viewpoint, rocky bluffs plunge more than 2,000 feet below, and as you might have guessed, the views are spectacular.
So we're at the General Springs cabin. This is one of the discovery points in the Mogollon Rim track that we're doing right now. This was built between 1914 and 15, and the rangers that actually lived here until the 60s, they were essential to the forest management in this area. So kudos to them, and it's awesome that the forest has done a pretty good job of keeping this thing intact, even though it looks like it could use a little bit of TLC. We're gonna go inside and check it out, so let's go.
After our visit to the General Springs cabin, we backtracked about a mile to an unassuming dirt road that I noticed that led out to the rim. After a short drive, lo and behold, another amazing campsite, empty and perched right at the rim's edge.
Well, as you can tell, or you can hear, we got a little bit of weather here, so just trying to stay dry. Got the canopy up. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but we'll just wait it out here. Glad we got to camp.
The Mogollon Rim is a massive 200-mile escarpment that cuts across central Arizona, rising up more than 2,000 feet above the surrounding landscape. Formed by geological uplift and erosion over millions of years, it marks a dramatic transition from the low desert basins to the cool forested highlands of the Colorado Plateau. It's one of the most defining geological features in Arizona and offers some of the most spectacular views in the entire state.
Good morning from the rim once again. Shasta and I going for a little walk. I usually tell you guys I'm the first one up for camp. Not the case with this group. People getting up super early. Sunrise is early out here in Arizona because they don't have the time change. So like 5 o'clock you can already see outside pretty well, and then by 5:20 the sun is up. So we're just hiking up the hill up here, gonna see if there's some other viewpoints. And then for today, got the drone batteries charged, so we're gonna go launch that along the rim, maybe even backtrack a little bit. We'll kind of do the last section of the really impressive part of the rim, and then start working our way towards Camp Verde, where we're gonna end up at the night, and then we shoot over Sedona on Friday. So should be a lot of fun. I think we're gonna see some cabins today. Gonna swing by a lookout and some other stuff as well. So let's go get into it. So if you come out to the rim and you do a little exploring off the main rim road, you'll find amazing campsites like this, right? Nobody up here.
Our plan for the day was rather simple: take advantage of the views along Rim Road. Once we neared the end of Rim Road, I'd plotted a side trip that would take us down a lesser traveled secondary road to an obscure point I found while scouting the route. The satellite imagery looked promising, but I had no idea if this little side adventure would deliver spectacular views or not.
last mile of road to look out here has gotten considerably bumpier and rockier. A little bit fun. I'm just hoping we can make it to it, but so far so good. Nothing too crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if we hit something a little gnarlier.
We made it to the Garden Tank viewpoint, and while the views were nice, if I'm to be completely candid, they didn't quite compare to what we had experienced at camp and on Rim Road earlier in the day. Still, it was good to get off the dirt superhighway and onto some more rugged, lesser used trails.
Just walking over to the Mogollon Rim aircraft arrow, I believe it's called. Points a certain direction. I'll have to look on the compass which way it's pointing. I'm going to go out here into the field and show it to you guys.
In the middle of this meadow, white rocks form an arrow and the letters PHX 75. It's a 1930s air marker that told pilots they were exactly 75 miles from Phoenix back when navigation was done by sight.
So there's a managed burn going on right now. And this is the way that we were supposed to continue. Trying to figure out if we can get on the track. We're looking at the map right now in the closure area. So we looked at the burn map. Looks like we can go a little bit further north and then start cutting west. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Worst comes to worst, we'll come up with an alternate plan. There's plenty of roads around here.
After cruising along the manicured trails of the Mogollon Rim, the easy miles were officially behind us. Once we crossed over the highway and left the rim, the trails became incredibly rugged and rocky.
Making progress, as you can see. Just need to come down 81B and we should be back on the track. Taking a little time. A lot of these trails are tight, narrow, lots of turns, bumps, ruts.
We pushed on through the mixed oak and juniper woodlands, wondering when the torrent of rocky trails would finally come to an end. After being bounced around for the better portion of an hour, we welcomed the opportunity to get out of the rigs and check out the old Buckhorn Ranch. But then it was back into the rigs and on to more rocks. It'd be a solid 3 hours of driving these rugged trails before finally making it back to a graded road. With the rocky trails behind us, we made a beeline to camp and began thinking about the next leg of our adventure, the 250-mile Sedona Backcountry Trail. Be sure to tune in, because you're not going to want to miss out on that one.
Cheers, Kayvon. We made it in one piece.
Cheers.
You have fun?
Yeah, it's a good time. A little dusty, but we made it all.
A little dusty, a little rocky.
Till next time, stay wild and wander far. Godspeed.